Hello, in this video, I would like to talk about sustainable growth and the nature of human behavior. Now, sustainable growth is a term that is used a lot in environmental circles. But for me, this term is somewhat meaningless. In a world with limited natural resources, you cannot have sustainable growth that is indefinite. If you have indefinite growth, then it does not matter how minuscule that growth is. Over time, that growth will deplete natural resources. Now, this says a lot about humanity, that humanity would even think that they could in any way have sustainable growth is quite laughable. If we just look at cryptocurrency as an example, the guiding principle of cryptocurrency was to create a currency that stripped the power away from the central banks, to create a currency that was independent of any functioning of those central banks, thus giving the people more power. Although this shows great ingenuity, and you would hope that through this ingenuity, environmental concerns would be thought of, that is not the case. For even though cryptocurrency is revolutionary, it does miss a key fundamental aspect, and that is that it is very resource intensive. Now, this was covered in a previous video, but I would like to delve in a little deeper now, because I do believe that it says a lot about human nature, that we can continuously innovate and show that the human mind has what some would call limitless potential, but yet, for whatever reason, we tend to focus solely on financial gains and less on the natural world in which we are a part. We tend to separate our financial progress with the greater natural world in which we live. We have not come up with a way to successfully meld the two together. For in the current paradigm, for one to be financially successful, it requires that they be an extractor, a user of resources, a user of all resources. But for usefulness in this discussion, I am referring to natural resources. It is only once we divorce the overwhelming desire we have for financial gain with our purpose in life that we will truly become a more generous entity to the world. Right now, all we are doing is serving as masters of extraction for our financial benefit. We need to find a way to look past this. And unfortunately, cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, as it has been in the news most recently for its environmental destruction, does not serve to further the financial / environmental prerogatives of both humans and nature. The only way that we will ever come close to a sustainable growth projection is to understand that we must have periods of both decreasing growth and also, I would argue, decreasing financial growth as well, because it does seem inevitable that as our financial position in the world becomes more and more secure, the natural world becomes more and more devastated. Now, I hope this paradigm changes as renewable energy becomes more and more efficient in the future. But as cryptocurrency shows us, future developments, for all their positive insights, do not always lend to the best future for the environment and a future of a more sustainable growth pattern.